guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel. Any video at all, and click the notification button. What are you saying? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your baby G SOMMYLOVE. If this is your first time, please kindly click the subscribe button and hit the notification button to get the latest gist of all our videos. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you very much. You know I always have it in my heart. Thank you for coming back to me. I was going through YouTube and I got a notification about Favor Iweze. If you are born before the year 2000, I'm sure that you should know Destiny Kids. Joy, joy, joy. In my heart is ringing, or singing. In my heart is ringing. So she has a YouTube page and she posted something that caught my attention. She posted something that really not just caught my attention, like it took her a lot of courage. I really commend her effort to release that video. It takes a whole lot of courage. It takes a whole lot of effort for somebody to put that out for everybody to hear. But I think she achieved her aim of doing that so that people, young mothers or people that are yet to be mothers, would learn. So that you'll be more conscious of your environment, your children, and everything that happens around them. Okay, so her own situation, she talked about how she was raped as a child. Raped, like, and the culprit is really like I don't know how I took that information. But you know, when you talk about rape, what is in your mind is, okay, probably the child was molested by an adult, or maybe a teenager around 20 or 18, 19, 20, 21. You get so, but this time around, that she was raped. Like, that word is a big word for a child. She was raped by another child, and I don't know. I found it hard to digest, where a child will know what it means to rape another child. You get to rape another child like that. So like, I don't really know the word to use, but she came out, and with the courage, she was able to share her story. So her story is a sad one, but I thank God that she was able to pull through and her life, and she's still standing strong and inspiring so many. So Favor Iweze, I really commend your courage. Thank you for releasing that video, and thank you for inspiring other people through that video and letting them know of what's happening. So if you go to the comment section, you will still see people. There are people like that. There are people that swallowed that trauma, because to me, like, that's a very big trauma. There are people that swallowed that trauma. There are people that kept that secret to themselves until they died. And so I'm making this video because I really want to point out to parents, because these days, the kind of parenting we have, or the parenting system, I would say, it's somehow, I'll put it that way, it's somehow. So I wouldn't say everybody. Okay, some parents, the way they train their children, because I know that there are people out there, there are parents out there that are really putting effort in making sure that their children turn out the right way. It's true that there are things that you cannot control, or you don't have charge over, such as the people your child relates with in school, or even when you are not around. But then what of when you come back home? Because she made a statement that her mom, whenever her mom wants to beat her, and then she reaches her V part, and then she would just begin to, pain, and she start crying. So the mom was observant enough to note that okay, something is wrong with this child, something is really wrong. So it's just that she wasn't able to open up. So I really want to see that it's very important as a mother to be observant. Yes, no, there are children that talk too much, not because it's any fault of theirs, but it's in their nature. Like they just talk, they just play, and all of a sudden your child becomes quiet and you think it's just okay, she's growing and is a change or is part of change. You should want to know why that child all of a sudden stopped to play or associate with others, because in her own situation she was a quiet kid, and then coupled with that she became more quiet. So you wouldn't really say. So just, but if you are really observant, I'm sure you would know that something probably is wrong, that something is wrong with this child. So if you are a mom, I think you should be more observant of your child or the happenings in the environment. So okay, where you live and the kind of people around you. So with the kind of people around you, you should know the kind of association your children make. You should know the kind of people they play with. So they are, see, as I will I say, as bitter as it may sound, they are children you should not allow your child or your children to mix up with, because it's really extremely dangerous. You know what you are preventing. They might not like it at that part, at that point, but you know better, so you know what you are preventing. So you should also be aware of the environment. There are people that live in an environment where you just drive in and into your house fine. So in that way, the environment, your children are secluded from the environment because they only go out when you take them out. But there are people that live in an open place. You don't know who comes into the environment and who comes out of the environment. So at this point, you should be careful of the people your child or your children mingle with, so that whenever something happens, you'll be able to likely trace where this is coming from. You know, I've posted about like 2 or 3 videos about parents and their children. Okay, so she was talking about how she was raped by another child while they were playing. Environment. Like I feel as a parent, you should be conscious of your environment, because all of us did not grow up in the same environment. So some people went through what they went through as a result of the environment they found themselves in, and some others as a result of the kind of people they found themselves around. Okay, so if you go through the comment section, I will drop the link to that particular video on the description in the description box, so you can check it out and hear for yourself. So some people were making like lots of comments, and people that had similar experience. It was so disheartening. So it really caught my attention, because our children, I know that there are things that you can't really control, such as the kind of people your child mingle with at school or even in the environment. There are people that you don't know when they come in, or you don't know who they are, and there are things you can control, but there are things you can help, such as the kind of environment you find yourself in. You know, the kind of environment you live in. All environments are not the same. So you don't, they are open environments, and you cannot say who would enter or who would not enter. So parents should really take note of that kind of, if you stay in that kind of environment, the kind of children, the kind of people your child mingle with, if your child steps out of the house, because it goes a long way to affect that child's life. That's the first thing. Be conscious of your environment as a mother, in fact even as a father, because this responsibility is not really just for one, it's not for one person. So as a mother, as a father, be conscious of your environment. It's not your fault that you live in that kind of environment, especially when you cannot afford a better place. But since you found yourself in that kind of environment, try as much as you can to monitor and know the happenings in that environment, so that you will be able to shield your child from the happenings in that environment. So one, be conscious of that environment. So now the second thing is the kind of friends your children keep. Really, like there are children that I wouldn't allow my children to mingle with, because you know this saying that they say, show me your friend and I will tell you the kind of person you are. So even if it's not that child's intention, but somehow the child can be influenced by the other person's character unconsciously. It's applicable in anybody's life, even in a child, especially in their learning age where they don't know most things. So what they see other children do, they will love to do. You are the one that would tell or tell them this is not right and this is not good for you. So I would advise, they are just children you cannot allow your children to mingle with, and it's not all the time they must play outside. If they should play outside, it's not all the time. So you should be aware of the kind of children, the kind of friends they keep. I've said this like over and over again. Know your child friends, know the kind of people your child mingle with. So you should also listen to their complaints. You know, sometimes children have a way of passing information and telling you what is wrong with them, or what this person or the other person does to them. Sometimes some parents see it as like their children is complaining too much, but nobody would complain to you about anything if they are not really being affected by that thing. It's not like they complain too much. For a child to want to express himself or herself to you, it's not just like wanting to talk. Once you know it's about something serious, you won't lose anything. Just go check out and know, okay, my child is complaining about this particular guy that visits the house. Let me just watch out next time he visits. Or about this particular child in the compound. It's something you should look into, because it's really very important. The girl child, even the male, the guy, the boys are included now, because our world is advancing and so many new things are being introduced, even something you never thought of. So in this situation where a child is raping another child, seriously, like that as of that time, I think, was it really heard of? And now see what is happening. A child, what does he know that is rape? And he even threatened her. So how did that child, 10 years old, know, like, okay, you can threaten this person and she would not say anything? And over and over and over again, you go on raping a fellow child like you. So what kind of mind does this child have? What kind of orientation does this child have? Probably the parents didn't have any time for him. Probably he associates with a bigger gang, or people that are way older than him, that know that not moving in the right direction. So they tend to dive him into that direction they are moving, and he's growing up with it, and he's using other children to experiment. So when your child starts complaining, please, parents, listen. It's very important. Listen to their complaint. If your girl child is complaining about a guy, listen. If your boy child is complaining about this particular auntie, listen. Ask them question. And I think it's time we need to start telling them that when you are threatened, that threat will not be carried out, because most of them swallow this information. They don't get to express it because of the threat. Imagine where a child is able to threaten another child. If you tell your mom, I will kill your parents, and I will kill you, even have to threaten with the parents. So it's high time we tell them that those threats actually mean nothing, because I think most of the children still do not know. So they live in that fear. If I say my mommy will die, my daddy will die, so they keep it to themselves, and that incident keeps going on and on and on. You get, they don't even know what is happening to them, but they are enjoying it, and to some it's really painful, but they cannot say. That way they know that nothing would happen to them. That they are being threatened is because that uncle or that auntie or that fellow child does not want anybody to know the bad thing that he or she is doing to them. So if we bring this awareness, if we create this awareness among our children, it will help them, so that they know that when such things happen, nothing will happen to them or anybody they've threatened them with. I think it will go a long way. Then Most of our children are scared of us. They are scared of the outcome of what they will tell us, or our reaction towards what they will tell us. We need to make these children feel safe around us. You need to make them know that, okay, your secret is safe with me. I won't use it against you, and I will not scold you. I will scold you when you are wrong, though. Some parents, when a child is telling you something, the child is not saying you should call other people's attention, because some mothers are fond of, when a child tells you something, they start calling you, anybody come and hear. No, you don't need to invite everybody around, come and hear what she said, though. Do you know that this person, even like that child's secret is not safe with you, because the child will be feeling, if I tell mommy now, everybody will hear. If I tell daddy, everybody will hear. Why? So if they confide in you, please do well to keep it to yourself. If it's a good news, you can go ahead and share to as many persons as you would like to, because once they tell you something and you go about telling everybody about what they told you, they might as well choose to keep it to themselves, because they'll say, if I tell mommy now, everybody will just know. You get? So let them feel safe, please. Let them not fear you. Don't be a kind of parent that will make your children, instead of telling you things, they keep it to themselves, because they are scared of you, because they are scared that you blame them for everything. They are parents that blame their children, even when they don't know the origin of the story, or how it started, or how everything happened. You're already blaming your child. So that child will say, I already know the outcome. She'll blame me, she'll beat me, she'll curse me, and the child will keep everything to him or herself, which is very bad. So let your children feel relaxed with you. Let them be that kind of children that can tell you anything that is bothering them, and with that, you have your children, I tell you. So they can be able to relate to you when they are troubled, when they are in trouble. Whatever anybody tells them is very important. See, a child's growth is really very important, is an important part of that person's life. So please, parents, don't take it for granted. As your parents looked after you, even if they did not do well in looking after you, don't allow your child to have that kind of experience again, because you know better, you know the outcome. So in the comment section, so many people were like, they had similar experience, and I was like, oh my god. So many people have so much secrets to themselves. Probably not because they didn't want to tell anybody. It's just because of this kind of like fear, or this kind of mindset. If you tell mommy will do this, because of the kind of atmosphere the parents must have created, or the notion they must have given the children unknowingly. So many people were writing, so many people they have experienced this. It mustn't only be from the environment. Please, uncles, aunties, people around, please just be careful. Be careful about the kind of people you leave your children with, about the kind of things they see, about the kind of children they mingle with. All these things are really very important. And lastly, but never ever the least, I've always said it in every of my video, the importance of prayer can never be overrated. Whether you mustn't sit down and then you pray. It's very important. But even while at work, you can just utter a word of prayer for your children when they are sleeping, when they are not there with you. Just make sure you keep praying for them. The Bible said, pray without ceasing. So even for your own life, never ever stop praying. Okay, so Favor Iweze, thank you for sharing your story with us. Your story really made people to speak out. So many people, what they have held for years, they were able to voice it out. I really commend the courage you took to post that video. Thank you, because so many people have learned a lot, and so many people have been enlightened. So thank you guys for joining me once again in this section, and I will see you in my next video. Don't hesitate to share with your friends, don't hesitate to comment, don't hesitate to like. Yes, very important, share to your friends, and remember, pray without ceasing. Make sure you don't scare your child away from yourself, so that you'll be able to know the happenings in that child's life. Thank you once again. See you in my next video. I remain my humble self. In case maybe you started from the middle to listen, I'd really like you to go back and start from the beginning. But in case you didn't get my name is okpalaeze, known as SOMMYLOVE. See you in my next video.